Welcome to BamBam-O-Rama.
Welcome to BamBam-O-Rama. We got the schmeats.
We got the schmeats.
Welcome to another on-the-road edition of BamBamORama podcast.
Right.
I am your host, Adrian Estrada. As always, with me, your other host,
Jackson Grist.
We're coming to you live. No, I'm just kidding. We're coming to you from VidCon, though. We're here in Anaheim,
California.
It's pretty sweet.
I've enjoyed it so far.
Yeah, it's a very nice time. Everyone's been enjoyable. Aside from traffic,
We've only had a few traffic issues, though. So then that's the nice thing. We have avoided, I feel like we've successfully, for the most part, avoided California traffic, especially Anaheim, LA area.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's been pretty sweet.
Getting to the hotel was kind of rough. It took almost an hour to get from the airport to the hotel.
Yeah, but that's really traffic, wasn't it?
That's really the only traffic issue I feel like we had. We had a little bit today from the restaurant, from the store to the restaurant.
Saying is, aside from traffic, really nothing to complain about.
Yeah, and even those small traffic issues haven't been much.
You know, one thing I do want. First thing I noticed, we land in. By the way, if you've never been to what's the airport?
We landed in Burbank.
Thank you, Burbank. If you've never landed in Burbank, it's the silliest airport.
I loved it. I'm not gonna lie.
It's just so tiny. It feels fake, but I loved it. I mean, I'm not. It was just strange. It's silly. You had to go down this weird. The ramp seems like it was made so last minute.
Oh yeah. Well, I won't lie. I've always seen it on movies and TV.
Sure.
The boarding from or deboarding the tarmac. I've never done that. I've always gone through the little tunnel thing and gotten directly on the plane. So when we landed and they were like, we will be deplaning from both sides of both the front and rear of the plane, I was like, what?
Yeah.
The dude next to me was like, dude, we get out on the tarmac. And I was like, I've never done this before. It blew my mind.
Yeah, it was definitely strange, but fun, enjoyable, cool. Always love a new experience like that. But then on top of that, you go into the corridor and it's miniature almost. It's just a design before we were as American as we are now, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they were still kind of still squishing down. We should save space for people. And now everyone's like, fuck you, it's my space.
Right.
But then on top of that, what I really would like to say about it that I started all that for was it smelled wonderful.
It did smell wonderful.
It smelled like flowers, and I'm not being sarcastic.
No.
I'm paying a compliment to the people of Burbank Airport, California. Right? No, it's just nice to experience where you think you're going to be landing in a big city.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to expect some smells. That's just big city life.
Big city smells.
But instead, you get these pretty flowers. It smells good. It was actually less clusterfuck than I was expecting.
Yes, I agree. I've heard from someone that when you fly into the Los Angeles area, you should fly into Burbank instead of LAX. Last time I was here, I came into LAX. I can't remember what it was like, but Burbank is definitely going to be more memorable. And I felt like it was a much easier situation than most airports I've ever landed at.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. But then, moving on past that, it was really fun to get to VidCon and be dropped off and then be told immediately we had to go to the other side of a giant building.
Oh my God, yes.
So if you know anything about our Vegas trip, we had to walk around a giant building in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just convinced now that the world is playing a joke on us.
I think the writers got lazy, the writers of the Adrian and Jackson sitcom.
Yeah.
And they were like, we're just going to do the walking around the building story again.
You guys need to step it up.
For real.
Because that was ridiculous. But no, it's fine. Life goes on, et cetera. Plus, just get those steps in, right?
That's true. It's true.
It's a huge complex, this Anaheim Convention Center. If you've never been, it's 4 stories.
Yeah, it's huge.
We're on what's called the creator track. Just to explain to you guys what's going on with that, anybody can go to this. We just bought into the creator track where we get to experience some of the conference style stuff, right? Seminar style, keynote speeches,
workshops.
Some of it is a little bit of the fluff, I'm celebrating, my success. Why not pat yourself on the back while you're experiencing this joy of
deserve it.
Creating for a living.
Yeah.
So it's just cool. So we're getting to, kind of cruise through that. Immediately found shawarma.
Oh, yes. Very quickly.
That was very pleasant.
Shawarma house
Also,
was delicious. I think if
4 out of the 5 food trucks at VidCon are some sort of Mediterranean.
Which is honestly fine with me. I've been on a big Mediterranean kick. And
I mean, it's good.
I want to eat as much hummus and pita as I can. I want Mediterranean tomorrow.
I mean, we've got another day, guys.
Yeah.
So by the time you hear this, VidCon will be completed.
And we're definitely going to try to go do a little bit of LA style sightseeing on Sunday too. We might go check out the Warner Brothers studio tour.
That'd be pretty cool. Want to make sure we get something out there for you guys. What are you looking forward to tomorrow? Do you have anything?
Tomorrow, I can't think. I'll be honest. I can't think of any of the workshops off the top of my head, but I do know this is probably part of the community track. And the one community track thing I want to do is the Smosh crew is going to be doing Try Not to Laugh live.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, and I'm really excited to see that.
What time is that supposed to be?
It's either 4 p.m. or 5 p.m. Hopefully it doesn't conflict with anything we see of importance, because I would really like to watch that. So we'll look at it.
Sounds pretty fun. Like I said, I didn't know that was going on.
Yeah.
Which, if you don't know, Smosh just got repurchased by the originating duo.
Which is pretty awesome.
Right. And for us, in our elderly stage of infancy within the channel, it's kind of cool to see some pioneers of YouTube get back together right when we're starting. And Jack even had, kind of teased a bit of like excitement out of that, we feel refueled by a lot of this stuff. Not that we were having any, issues, but we're older. We get that. We're just starting, everything's uphill from here. So we're just trying to take every little bit of encouragement, self-encouragement more than anything that we can, but also, try to focus on making sure we're making good content.
Oh, definitely.
That being said, I think it's easily affordable for me to say that we're writing a movie.
Absolutely.
That is halfway done. I don't want to tell you what it's about, but it's just to the extent that we're working more than what we're showing. You know what I mean?
Oh, definitely.
And we're planning even more so now. These guys, they didn't necessarily give us, all these brand new fancy ideas, but it really helps you narrow down and hone in on what you're trying to do.
Absolutely.
When you're brainstorming with people that are already brainstorming. It's like almost a magical, like exposure of wits, even though you're not conversing, you just feel really good about it.
I'm excited. What are you looking forward to tomorrow?
I'm excited to catch some of the AI because brushed up a little bit. We brushed up a little bit rather on a podcast talking a smidge about AI.
Yes.
Rather than being afraid of it, we've been embracing a lot of it and just not indulging in it, trying to overuse it. Even though, by the way, on the side, I'm constantly playing with it. Right. If you haven't seen some of the stuff, I love AI.
You have been messing with it a lot.
I'm using that for more of like a meme type thing and entertaining myself rather than trying to make real content with it. But
I think some of that content's hilarious because it doesn't even, half the time it doesn't make sense. Yeah.
I mean, there's definitely, even the mythical guys are doing that.
Yeah, they do that a little bit. Yeah,
so
you're right.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely people doing that. I just wouldn't want to just so much because it almost feels like it would distract me. But that's just obviously of course we got to try it. So
yeah.
But I just feel like I would end up going off on tangents more than getting something accomplished.
I think the worst thing that happens is we put something on film for 2 or 3 hours and don't ever air it.
Sure. And like I said, we got to try it. I'm not saying no. I'm just saying that's my first thought.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
I'm with you. I can understand because I won't lie. AI is, and I'm sure we've talked about AI before, it's nerve-wracking when you think about how many jobs it can take over and this and that. But I mean, it can also, if you use it rightfully, it can be a tool that makes things better. It can be a tool that makes things fun. Yeah.
And, even in that other one, I kind of threw it out there where kind of comparing it to the music things, even though it's not exactly the same. In the digital music world, people would consider that not music. And now people consider those people, foolish to say that. So
that's true.
Times change, et cetera, and you just got to, I think, be available and open to possibilities rather than just say no.
Yeah.
So it's okay. It's always okay to, like I just did. It's always okay to be like, my first thought is nah. But if you don't try it, then you're just kind of being a fucker.
I don't know. I mean, it could, like I said, it could be one of the funniest sketches that we do.
Sure.
It could be one of the worst things we do.
And like you said, worst case scenario is it just ends up in a vault of some sort.
Yeah. I mean, my goal is to at least have fun while we make it.
Yeah. But on that note of making things, we get to make some stuff with some other videographer. I don't want to call them content creators because they just mean that they're doing other stuff that's more on the traditional path.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to that, and I like the split world we're in of getting to work with some guys that work in that.
I'm super excited
of thought,
to do that.
Yeah. Talking about our movie writing experience, what do you think you potentially learned? And I'm not trying to get some sort of, sage wisdom out of it, but what do you think, on a quick note, you want to bring to a writing room situation from what you've learned at VidCon? So
at VidCon to a writing room?
Yeah.
Like we're honestly probably one of the best things. We've heard it twice. Make things more simple and concise. Don't hide behind big words.
Sure.
The majority of your audience doesn't want to read a textbook.
I think we got that covered. I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah,
I don't think we're stretching.
I'm a pretty simple talker, but for some reason, even my simple vocabulary confuses people. I guess because of my wording choices.
Well, I think most of it's because you speak like you're reading a Chat GPT. I'm just kidding.
Sometimes I do. Oh, if I'm like reading, I'm a terrible cold reader though. No, I think that is what fucked me up mostly in high school, because I used to do theater in high school.
Oh.
And I think unless a director or someone had worked with me before, the first time I auditioned with someone, they would give me a smaller part because I'm terrible on a cold read with the stuff. I'm not good until I have the material worked in. I'm trying to get better at it. I've read a few things on camera for us at this point, but by no means am I very good.
I don't know. I think it might be an arrogant thing to think it, much less say it, but I just think that might be on the director's shoulders a little bit.
It could be.
We were very fortunate to have, other actors that were capable of doing this as well, which is off the cuff, work, broad scope realized within their minds, your mind, etc. If I had an employee that wasn't good at sales because they were an introvert, well, I hate to tell you that doesn't mean you fire them.
Right.
You actually can get plenty of introverts to be very successful salespeople.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's, I use that as the example because that very much to me is similar.
Yeah, I get what you mean. So to get more into the nitty gritty about it, the situation I'm talking about, like I said, it was high school theater. These were high school directors. It's also the difference between like when I was in Andrews doing one act play and doing the fall play, that director knew me, knew what I could do, knew that my shitty cold reading was just a barrier. We had to, like a week-long barrier that we had to get past or whatever. Once I get comfortable with the material, I'd be good at it. These other directors that I worked with were like obviously high school directors still. This was at like theater camp. So, but they're like,
you went to theater camp?
Yeah, I went to theater camp twice.
I think it's show.
Like that whole audition process. What'd you say?
You think it's show.
But yeah, that whole audition process, you're blowing through. You give 2 monologues, one funny, one serious. So we were doing these cold reads all afternoon, and that's how that process worked. And then like literally the next day, you're told what play you're in. It's not really a good process to cast the best situation, anyways.
Well, I'm not necessarily like trying to be like, well, fuck your directors, or
No, I know what you mean.
But I think that where there's a will, there's a way.
But I completely agree with you. I think that a great director would take that kid that's nervous and is giving you the worst cold read and would be able to, in 3 months, not 3 weeks like theater camp was, but in 3 months, turn that shy, nervous, I can barely read into a leading actor, or actress.
It does take. To be fair, anything like that does take time.
Yeah.
What else? What else do you want to try? Like, how about this? Not something you learned from VidCon, but what's something you got an idea that you want to throw out there that you think the world might be okay to hear?
As far as what, like content we want to do? As far as
you had mentioned, where we might dabble in, Smosh-ish.
Absolutely.
Stuff.
I think not to steal ideas, but I think the Smosh thought of channel is kind of what I think would be great for us. A mix of sketch comedy, some kind of combatant situation where we're sitting like at a table against each other like this. Honestly, our Instagram live where we would do the stupid trivia questions, and if you got it wrong, you would eat a spicy wing.
Well, I guess it wouldn't be terrible. The thing is, though, is we've always kind of been shooting at this like it's a variety show.
Right.
So,
which one of the guys did kind of say was a good idea. We did have someone else come back and say that that's a bad idea.
So I guess that's where we can start asking some of you guys.
Absolutely.
Part of it is we obviously don't have the typical podcast. We're kind of just BSing as it goes. And sometimes we say something silly enough where you keep coming back to listen, right? But there's obviously, where we got to navigate some of these little things,
Yeah.
Should we do more variety where we start doing stuff like, I don't know.
I would like to do some, don't get me wrong, I want everything to be comedic. So when I throw these ideas out there like a game show, I want it to be something funny that people are still going to laugh at every, 30 seconds, minute, whatever.
Hopefully.
hopefully at least. So when I throw out these things, like I want to do a game show, I want to do vlogger stuff, I still want that to be under the umbrella of comedy. Bantering and acting like idiots or hurting each other's mouths with spice.
The fuck is that? God damn it. I hate you so much. No, I mean, I'm down to try stuff.
And so,
but I guess where I would like to know from people that are already watching and listening and all, being regulars, is what would be too far?
Absolutely.
Because, you obviously don't want to go trying to put your label on everything. It's the same thing as like Colgate tried to sell frozen dinners back in the 70s or whatever.
Right. This might be a good time to say this. Like, those of you who are watching and listening, get in the comments.
Because let's put it out there, right? Yeah. We'll tell you what we've got the plans for. Obviously, we've got some more WWE sketches coming. We've got some loose shorts coming out. We've got slightly parody musical pieces coming. That will be some covers. I think we're going to start doing some where we're getting more original music going.
Absolutely.
And then we're like talking about this game show stuff.
Yeah.
We don't necessarily have much planned past that, but in a variety show, I think that's pretty fair. I think
so too.
Because when I think variety show, first off, I think of Viva Variety. Do you remember that show?
I don't remember.
Oh my God. Do you know what it is?
No.
So it was Thomas Lennon from Reno 911, and then it's got Michael Ian Black as Johnny Blue Jeans.
Okay.
Okay.
That sounds familiar. Maybe we've probably just had this conversation.
I might have told you.
Like
Carrie Kenny Silver. Sorry, I messed up your name.
There you
go. Thomas Lennon was the host. She was kind of like the Vanna White, always in like like a ritzy dress. And then of course Michael Ian Black was Johnny Blue Jeans, which was like it was like an Italian suit, like a real tight Michael Ian Black-ish suit, And yeah, it was great. And they just did stupid stuff on Comedy Central for it. So first off, I think that, but then I think of like Carol Burnett as well, right? And I grew up watching Carol Burnett. I don't know about you. Nick at Night was a big thing for me, which we've talked a little bit about before. But Carol Burnett and Lucille Ball, who also is variety, in that way. So yeah, I'm thinking about all these, classics. And yeah, that's what makes me want to do variety. I don't want to do just a sketch, which we've already talked. We've already.
I'm with you. I want our channel to be a variety channel, if you will. I mean, basically, I guess a good idea that I thought about was if we did a variety show, but we took out the monologue. And then you just take each segment, and that's our YouTube, that's our videos.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it might be where we're doing it like this, and then, maybe we can get to a point where we're releasing a full hour length,
That'd be cool.
Actual variety show. Which would be sick.
It would be sick.
Like to work our way to the point where we have people willing, capable, and participating. Yeah.
Man, I'm gonna tell you right now, if we had a variety show going, my dream guest, and I don't know if you heard me, I said guests, not guest, would be my favorite variety show of all time, The Muppets. If we had a variety show, that would be my goal, to get The Muppets on there.
I wonder how we could possibly do it. What do we need to do? And I guess, that's where we can rely a little bit on you guys. Yeah. What do we need to do to get the Muppets?
What do we need to do?
Somebody tell us. But it's definitely good for us to know what you guys are interested in. More importantly, what you're not interested in. So we've seen the emails. We get it. No more Pink Sock.
Pink Sock's gone.
Pink Sock's gone, guys.
Deleted.
All the videos of Pink Sock are gone.
Right?
Don't even Google Jackson Grist Pink Sock.
Don't Google.
Don't you dare Google that.
Don't you dare, because you won't find it.
Nope, we got rid of
It would
it.
be a waste of time.
It'll be a waste of time to Google Jackson Grist theme song.
Yep. We also got rid of Adrian Eats the Blue Waffle.
Can't land that one. I'm down for that. It's been a long time. So I got laid and needed push it.
I threw out the Muppets. Who would your guest be? Who's your dream variety show guest? If we were to have the Jackson and Adrian Variety Hour, or whatever it would be called.
At this point, it would be Thomas Lennon, Carrie Silver, and Michael Ian Black.
Yeah. That's a good one, too.
Yeah, at this moment, those three. If you don't know anything about Thomas Lennon, first off, he's Officer Dangle from Reno 911.
Honestly, Tom
you know
Lennon,
who he is if you see this person.
Tom Lennon might be the funniest person on the planet. I
don't know about him, but he's pretty damn funny.
He's up there.
He's pretty damn.
He could be in the
funny.
tight list of top 20, top 10. I think, honestly.
I don't know. I don't want to try to debate that because I personally just don't know
I understand
all of his work to keep going with it. Much less I don't have a reason to debate that. He's so good,
He is so good.
Other than that, I think music-wise is where I would go. I'd probably say somebody like Tenacious D would be good.
I would
Fly the Concords guys.
I would love to do that. I would love to have Tenacious D on there. I think we would have a lot of fun working with those two guys.
I propose that we try to really work this in, and then when we get musical guests, we try to work where we can try to play with.
Absolutely. I don't know if I remember if I ever told you this. One idea I had a long time ago, and I think it was because I was watching in the early days of Netflix streaming. I remember there was specifically a Wilco documentary that showed them in the studio a whole lot, and then someone else that was basically a studio doc. And I was like, I thought it would be so cool. I was also like super into like Travel Channel shows at the same time, or Discovery type shows. And so I thought an idea that would be cool. I don't know what the budget for this would be, so we would not be able to make this on our own. This is like a TV deal thing. And if a producer out there wants to have it, I guess it's yours. But no, I thought it'd be cool. Like if it was like an engineer of a studio was essentially their show. Like say it was me and I had a studio, and I didn't mean to hit that. I'm sorry. And so you would have like Claudio from Coheed and Cambria, and then I don't know.
So they're like improvising a song.
Yeah, Ben Gibbard, and then or like Ben Gibbard, someone else. Yeah, you have two artists. You and like as the engineer, you got to work with them. You got to make them to help them work on collaborating on one song.
So yeah, this is good, but you'd have to have like a time frame on it, or something, like a week.
Oh yeah, that's what I always thought. That's exactly what I always thought. Like it's a week long, so you're filming the episode. Obviously, is like 30 minutes, 40 minutes, but yeah, it's a week long process. Cool idea for a show.
I think it is a great idea for a show. When it's all said and done, we do want to make sure that we're pumping out all this, right, guys? So make sure you're leaving comments on some of these ideas, not because we're running out of them, but
which ones do you like? I mean, I think it's safe to say that we do this for ourselves, but I'm going to get more enjoyment out of anything knowing that I made someone over here laugh. And I am pointing at the camera, and I mean y'all. That's my goal.
Yeah, I'm here to bring some joy to the world.
So if you think there's something that you want to see out there that would make you laugh and you tell us about it, we'll try to find a way to put it in a sketch.
If we
can't promise
we film
everything.
it and we don't release it, that's a whole different thing. You gotta just trust the process a little. We can always try.
Yeah.
A couple of things we'll be putting out there is feelers on what songs you would think would be fun for us to cover. But of course, we're always welcome to random suggestions in there.
Make sure you follow us on Instagram. Links will be in the description.
We've got a TikTok coming. We've got our Facebook page about to get a makeover. And of course, we've got the YouTube running.
Another one I think we talked about when we dropped the ball on, we need to add a Twitter.
Yeah. So make sure you come looking for us, guys. It's BamBamORama.com. You can find any link necessary through that. Of course, if you're needing a guitar, please make sure you check out Jeremy Calley Guitars. His link will be in the description of this. And have yourselves a wonderful evening. Thank you guys for your time.
Yes, thank y'all. Love y'all.
Love you.